you're looking at those, it's hard to listen to me, and we're gonna get to those brochures, okay? They're very important for you to have in your hands, though, and we got a lot of extras in the back. So, what I do as a treasurer is I take in all the fees that you kids pay, or your parents pay, I go put it in the bank. I also try to ask different great big businesses if they want to help donate, or churches or something. One of my other titles is Marketing Manager of Destiny. I try to get people to know about that we're here in Elmore. Well, a tiny town of 190 people. So what I want to stress to you is, you guys all know this, I think, but what does anybody guess the largest expense we have here at Destiny Youth Ranch? Brooklyn.
Vet bills.
Excuse me?
Vet bills.
No? Gideon. Food for the horses. Food for the horses. Hay for the horses from about the month, the grass usually dies out. What month does grass die out? November-ish. You get a freeze, grass quits growing. So we got to start feeding hay in the month of November, probably the first week already. And we got to keep feeding hay till June 1st. How many months is that? Probably 8 months? 6, 7 months? I don't know, you do the math. 8 months. Gideon was a math expert. So, if you realize that $1,250 for one horse is what it costs to upkeep, feed them, have vet bills done for them, trim their hooves, do various different things to them. Sometimes they need to have their teeth worked on. $1,250 for one horse for a year. And we have usually between 50 and 60 horses. So who's good at math?
My calculator.
Somebody take 60 times 1,250. Or you can estimate it in your head.
It's too much.
80,000. 80,000.
75,000, I'm going to take Dennis's word for it.
$25.
Okay, so you take $75,000, and that's just to care for the horses for the year, guys and gals. And then we have other expenses. We have the electricity bills, and I'm going to miss a lot of things, so I'm not going to say them all. But we have a lot. We have insurance. Insurance costs us $3,500 just in 1 year. A lot of money. So we have a lot of other bills besides the care of the horses. Okay? So we are always short of money is why I'm coming up with this, and I want to talk to you about that. Some people tell us, well, why do you only charge $125 for a child to come to camp? If you charged more, you wouldn't have to ask for so many donations other than the money coming in. You should have the money coming in pay for your camps. Well, if we did that, we'd have to charge close to $500 per camper. And there are some camps out there, kids, that do charge that. Our whole philosophy with Destiny Youth Ranch is we want to be able to let kids come here that don't have $500. That we charge the $125, and then we say, if you can't afford that, Mom and Dad, call us and we'll let you come for less, or we'll even let you come for free, your child. Okay? And that's how we differ from a lot of other camps. A lot of other camps, your parents have to almost be wealthy to be able to send a couple of you, or even one of you, if you want to spend $500. The reason we do what we do is we don't want money. Everybody with me here? We don't want money to be a reason a child can't come to camp and hear about the good news of Jesus and how he can affect your life. Okay? That's how we differ from a lot of camps. And it's important that you guys understand this, because you are the glue that keeps Destiny Youth Ranch together. All you out here today, and the 30, 25 that are going to be here tomorrow, you're the glue that holds us together, and you have to understand how this works. Okay? We want you to be aware of how this works, because you're really important to us. raise your hand if you think Destiny Youth Ranch, what I just said is really important. Raise your hand. Great, you can put them down. And I was figuring on, everybody was going to raise their hand, and I'm so thankful you all did.
We're here for you, Jason.
We also feel, the board, Corley and I, that what we do is very important, obviously, or we wouldn't be doing this. I want to share something with you. When I was younger, sometimes we wouldn't go to church, and my parents would say, "Watch it on television." And we would, and every time the pastor, before he would end his half-hour service, every time he would come out and ask for money. He'd say, "We don't have quite enough money to keep going," and every time. And my mom and dad, bless their hearts, but they were the type that, I hate when they do that. I hate when they ask for money. And my mom and dad, I think, thought, and I love my mom and dad, but I think they thought, those preachers are just lining their pockets with money. Well, what Corley and I learned when we got older and we started Destiny Youth Ranch is, when you have a nonprofit Christian ministry, you have to ask for money to make it work. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to ask for extra money. Okay? So we try to figure out ways to come up with extra money besides. What are ways that we already bring money in? You guys know this? By our, well, when you guys come to camp, that's a way we bring in money. You guys are getting charged, or not you guys, but the campers are getting charged $125 a piece. But if you do the math, it's not near what we need. Okay, it's not near. You can do the math with 6 camps. Even if we max out all 6 camps, we're long ways of paying our bills, paying for the feed for the horses. So, what we are going to do, we do a couple times a year, and this is going to be new this year. I'm kind of segueing into this. We have sheets in the back, and you guys have gotten the emails about this, but we're going to do a trail ride along the Big Sioux River, and we are, of course, behind paying our bills like most ministries are. But remember why we're behind. We're behind because we don't ever want a child not to be able to attend, okay? It's really important. It's not that we are paying our help a whole bunch of money. Any adult you see here, kids, they don't make any money. You know you're not making any money. Corley and I don't make a cent what we're doing. We're doing it to bring kids to know Jesus and have them receive Him as their Lord and Savior, and you guys are helping us do that. Okay? So, what we want to do is, this isn't going to work for all of you, but we hope it works for a lot of you. If you're able to raise the minimum of $250, and this is on the internet, right, Corley?
Yes.
And it's also on the sheet in the back. If you're able to, Corey?
When you go on the internet to try to sign up for it, there's 2 pages. So you'll have to go down, like you go into 2019 camp,
They don't sign up for this online.
it's on there.
You can
The
sign up
right
for it
part?
online.
I think so.
I signed
I'll-
up for it.
I'll pull
Is
it up.
it really?
Yeah.
Well-
But anyway, it's on the 2nd page. You have to go down to the 2nd page, you know, where it lists like volunteer training. If you go down to the bottom, there's 2. There's like a 1 and a 2. You go to the 2 and on the bottom.
Well, and if nothing else, if you're confused, make sure you ask.
Well, let me,
I actually have asked that everybody would text me or call me or sign up so that we actually know we have the courses. Because I need to know for sure that they're coming, because we have
Good idea.
a limited amount of courses that will be able to go. I said there's limited spaces, but we'd like everyone, as many people as possible.
We've got space left. Okay, thanks, Corey. So the reason I bring this up, this is one way to raise money. We have a couple other fundraisers throughout the year, but we wanted to try something different than just having something on the Destiny Youth Ranch grounds, because you keep doing the same thing, the same all the time, then people kind of zone you out and they don't go to it anymore. wow, this is something new that we're not opening up to kids that are campers, we're just opening it up to you guys, right? Did I say that right? We're opening it up to the adults and you volunteers. So this is something kids can't even do that are just campers. It's open to you guys out in this audience only. We'll
For
find
the
out-
record, I was wrong. It's not
Okay.
on there, sign up back
Okay,
there.
so it's not on the internet, you have to talk to an adult to get signed up for this. Poor Leah. Okay, so another thing we're gonna segue into, I wanna see a show of hands. So another one of my hats, and I'm gonna say this maybe for five minutes or so, and I'll probably be done. Another one of my hats is marketing Destiny Youth Ranch. And that means we gotta get the word out about Destiny Youth Ranch and fill up our camps, okay? A lot of kids have came here 3 or 4 years, they get older, they quit coming, may not have a lot of people they know, so they don't tell a lot of people. Well, we are open to get more people, okay? So, my suggestion on those brochures is, there's 3 of them, but there's a lot more back there that if you'd like more, we can get into you. I have some suggestions. Those brochures can be used in 2 different ways. If you're trying to raise money for the Great Sioux River Ride, give that prospective person that you're asking for money a brochure, and ask them to think about it, and what do you think, or maybe call them later. But another thing you can use those for is to tell somebody, a child that maybe you think would be a good candidate to come to Destiny Youth Ranch. Maybe you think they might not know Jesus, and might not know who Jesus is. And we all know how important that is, to have to know Jesus. It's something that is the most important thing you guys can do in your life, of course, is accepting Christ. But about the second most important thing, or really high on the list, is telling somebody else about Jesus. Now, a lot of you have probably heard your pastor say that verse in the Bible, you got to go tell people about Jesus and what he did. Well, a lot of you are shy. I was shy at your age. I could hardly talk. Now you can't shut me up. But I was really shy. Coralie was even shyer, and she became a preacher. So God can do a lot of things. The reason I bring this up is if you say to yourself, I can't tell people about Jesus. Well, I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. You can give a brochure to somebody, and if that person comes to camp and receives Christ as his Savior, that was because of your actions. And isn't that a cool deal? Because of what you guys did, caused that person to know who Jesus is. And just give them the brochure, tell them you've been here before, and you'll love it. And if we can have you guys advertise for us, you're our warm people. You're our people that know about us, so we need you to advertise for us, okay? Another good place to give these to, you guys all know people that are maybe youth group directors at a church. You know people that are Girl Scout troop leaders, Boy Scout troop leaders, 4-H group leaders. Put that in their hands and say, hey, I know all about this place. It's so awesome. If you want more brochures, let me know. I can get them for you. Because, last year we probably had 2/3 of our camps full. We want the camps to be full. We all do the same amount of work. We just as well fill the camps up, right? And bring more kids to Jesus. Okay? So, if you have the need to have more brochures, I've got 250 of them back there. Come and see us later. We'll get you some more. Please hold on to those brochures. Remember who you can get them to try to raise money for. And even if you say, I can't go on the trail ride because you're going to be gone or whatever, keep them to try to raise money for the $50. No, you don't have to pay the $50. They don't have to pay the $50 either for the camps, or they do. Okay, sorry. So keep them to try to raise money for the $50 that you have to pay. Belinda gave me a good idea earlier. Where'd she go? Back there.
They were gonna waive the fees.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna say it in a second. Belinda told me a little while ago that a lot of your churches, if you talk to them, will pay for fees also. A lot of your churches are very evangelical. They like places like this, so that's a good place to talk. Talk to your youth directors if you attend the church. Also, the $50 fee will be waived all summer long for you volunteers if you can raise at least the $250 and go on the trail ride. And even if, what's that? The top 3 people are going to get trophies also. And let's see here. Oh, and just so you know, Corey does not like to put stuff on her hand. I do. I write a lot of stuff on my hand. I think I have pretty well talked about this stuff. I've got to run off in 5-10 minutes to get the pizzas, but does anybody have any questions about how Destiny Ranch runs? I'm very transparent as the treasurer. If you ever have any questions, come talk to me. Love to talk to you at Brooklyn.
I don't have so much questions, but I made a video of like different students with us volunteers this summer. If you want to read it or anything, but
have
it's
a-
kind of cool.
Send it to me.
I did.
Okay.
Sounds
You might
awesome.
have to send it again. Did you just send it?
No, I sent it a while ago.
Might have to resend it. So, I was gonna also tell you guys, the pledge sheets are in the back if you need pledge sheets. Pledge sheets are in the back, and also the letter that kind of introduces, talks about how you can get pledges to go on the ride-a-thon. This ride-a-thon, actually, the property is owned by Heath Hyden's family. He's our vet out here, a lot of you might know him. But they will be helping us out on the trail ride, so. And it is a
And the
beautiful
sign
property.
up for that is back here.
Sign up back there, and the property is private, so you don't get to go on a trail ride there unless you go with us on this one. So,
Hilarious you are.
I think we have, it's time for the horse stuff. So,
So next time you see me, I'll have pizza.